Hi there, welcome. You've entered your favorite, safe, quiet corner of the internet. I want you to shake the day off because the world can wait. Now please take a deep breath in with me and out. Thank you. Today I thought I would read for you some romantic poems. And by romantic I mean they were written during the Romantic period. The themes differ. Some of these are about romantic love, while others are not. So I want you to close your eyes, relax your body, and listen. So let's start. The first one we have is a sonnet by Charlotte Smith. Sonnet written at the close of spring. The garlands fade that spring so lately wove, each simple flower which she had nursed in dew, anemones that spangled every grove, the primrose one, and harebell mildly blue. No more shall violets linger in the dell, or purple orchids variegate the plain, till spring again shall call forth every bell, and dress with humid hands her wreaths again. Ah, poor humanity, so frail, so fair, are the fond visions of thy early day, till tyrant passion and corrosive care bid all thy fairy colors fade away. Another May new buds and flowers shall bring. Ah, why has happiness no second spring? Sonnet 3 to a Nightingale, also by Charlotte Smith. Poor melancholy bird, that all night long tells to the moon thy tale of tender woe. From what sad cause can such sweet sorrow flow? And whence this mournful melody of song? Thy poet's muse and fancy would translate what mean the sounds that swell thy little breast, when still at dewy eve thou leav'st thy nest, thus to the listening night to sing thy fate. Pale sorrow's victims wert thou once among, thou now released in woodlands wild to rove. Say, hast thou felt from front some cruel wrong, or diest thou, martyr of disastrous love? Ah, songstress says, that such my lot might be, to sigh and sing at liberty like thee. And now 2 poems by Dorothy Wordsworth. She is often overshadowed by her brother, but I think she belongs on this list. So the first one is addressed to a child during a boisterous winter evening. What way does the wind come? What way does he go? He rides over the water and over the snow, through woods and through vale and over rocky height, which the goat cannot climb, takes his sound in flight. He tosses about in every bare tree, as if you look up you plainly may see, but how he will come and whither he goes, there is never a scholar in England knows. We will suddenly stop in a cunning nook, and ring a sharp larum, but if you should look, there is nothing to see but a cushion of snow. Round is a pillow, and whiter than milk, and softer than if it were covered with silk. Sometimes he'll hide in the cave of a rock, and whistle as shrill as the buzzard cock. Yet seek him, and what shall you find in the place? Nothing but silence and empty space, save in a corner a heap of dry leaves that he's left for a bed to beggars or thieves. As soon as it's daylight tomorrow, with me you shall go to the orchard, and then you will see that he has been there and made a great rout, and cracked the branches and strewn them about. Heaven grant that he spared but that one upright twig that looked up at the sky so proud and big. All last summer, as well you know, studded with apples, a beautiful show. Hark, over the roof he makes a pause, and growls as if he would fix his claws. Right in the slates, with a huge rattle, drive them down like men in a battle. But let him range round, he does us no harm. We build up the fire, we're snug and warm. Untouched by his breath, see the candle shines bright, and burns with a clear and steady light. Books have we to read, but that half stifled now. Alas, 'tis the sound of the 8 o'clock bell. Come, now we'll to bed, and when we are there, he may work his own will, and what shall we care? He may knock at the door, we'll not let him in. May drive at the windows, we'll laugh at his din. Let him seek his own home, wherever it be. Here is a cozy, warm house for Edward and me. Thoughts on my sick bed. And has the remnant of my life been pilfered of the sunny spring? And have its own prelusive sounds touched in my heart no echoing string? Oh, say not so, the hidden life couchant within this feeble frame hath been enriched by kindred gifts that undesired, unsought for came. With joyful heart in youthful days, when fresh each season in its round, I welcome the earliest celandine, glittering upon the mossy ground. With busy eyes I pierce the lane, in quest of known and unknown things. The primrose, a lamp on its fortress rock, the silent butterfly spreading its wings, the violet betrayed by its noiseless breath, the daffodil dancing in the breeze, the caroline thrush on his naked perch towering above the building trees. Our cottage hearth no longer our home, companions of nature were we, the stirring, the still, the loquacious, the mute, to all we gave our sympathy. Yet never in those careless days, when springtime in rock, field, or bower was but a fountain of earthly hope, a promise of fruit and the splendid flower. Now, that I never felt a bliss that might with that compare, which pierced into the couch of rest, came on the vernal air. When loving friends an offering brought, the first flowers of the year, culled from the pensics of our home, from nooks to memory dear. With some sad thoughts the work was done, unprompted and unbidden, but joy it brought to my hidden life, the consciousness no longer hidden. I felt a power unfelt before, controlling weakness, languor, pain. It bore me to the terrace walk. I trod the hill again, No prisoner in this lonely room, I saw the green banks of the Wye, recalling thy prophetic words, bard, brother, friend from infancy. No need of motion or of strength, or even the breathing air. I thought of nature's loveliest scenes, and with memory I was there. And now The Haunted Beach by Mary Robinson. Upon a lonely desert beach, where the white foam was scattered, a little shut upreared its head, though lofty barks were shattered. The seaweeds gathering near the door, a somber path displayed, and all around the deafening roar re-echoed on the chalky shore by the green billows made. Above a jutting cliff was seen where seabirds hovered craving, and all around the crags were bound with weeds forever waving, and here and there a cavern wide its shadowy jaws displayed, and near the sands at ebb of tide a shivered mast was seen to ride, where the green billows strayed. And often while the moaning wind stole over the summer ocean, the moonlight scene was all serene, the water scarce in motion. Then, while the smoothly slanting sand, the tall cliff wrapped in shade, the fisherman beheld a band of spectres gliding hand in hand, where the green billows played. And pale their faces were as snow, and sullenly they wandered into the sky with hollow eyes. They looked as though they pondered, and sometimes from their hammock shroud they dismal howlings made. And while the blast blew strong and loud, the clear moon marked the ghastly crowd, where the green billows played. And then, above the haunted hut, the curlews screamed and hovered, and the low door with furious roar the frothy breakers covered. For in the fisherman's lone shed a murdered man was laid, with 10 wide gashes in his head, and deep was made his sandy bed, where the green billows played. A shipwrecked mariner was he, doomed from his home to sever, who swore to be through wind and sea, firm and undaunted ever. And when the wave resistless rolled, about his arm he made a packet rich of Spanish gold, and, like a British sailor bold, plunged where the billows played. The spectre band, his messmates brave, sunk in the yawning ocean, while to the mast he lashed him fast, and braved the storm's commotion. The winter moon upon the sand a silvery carpet made, and marked the sailor reach the land, and marked his murderer wash his hands, where the green billows played. And since that hour the fisherman has toiled and toiled in vain, for all the night the moony light gleams on the spectred main, and when the skies are veiled in gloom, the murderer's liquid way bounds over the deeply yawning tomb, and flashing fires the sands illume, where the green billows play. Full 30 years his task has been, day after day more weary, for heaven designed his guilty mind should dwell on prospects dreary. Bound by a strong and mystic chain, he has not power to stray, but destined misery to sustain, He wastes in solitude and pain, and loathsome life away. Another poem by Mary Robinson, The Genius. Mary Robinson, January 1795. Pavement slippery, people sneezing, floors in ermine, beggars freezing, titled gluttons dainties carving, genius in a garret starving, lofty mansions, warm and spacious, courtiers cringing and voracious, misers scarce the wretched heeding, gallant soldiers fighting, bleeding, wives who laugh at passive spouses, theaters and meeting houses, balls where simpering misses languish, hospitals and groans of anguish, arts and sciences bewailing, commerce drooping, credit failing, placemen mocking subjects loyal, separations, weddings royal, authors who can't earn a dinner, many a subtle rogue a winner, fugitives for shelter seeking, misers hoarding, tradesmen breaking, taste and talents quite deserted, all the laws of truth perverted, arrogance over merit soaring, merit silently deploring, ladies gambling night and morning, fools the works of genius scorning, ancient dames for girls mistaken, youthful damsels quite forsaken, some in luxury delighting, more in talking than in fighting, lovers old and both decrepit, lordlings empty and insipid, poets, painters and musicians, lawyers, doctors, politicians, pamphlets, newspapers and odes, seeking fame by different roads, gallant souls with empty purses, generals only fit for nurses, schoolboys smit with martial spirit, taking place of veteran merit, honest men who can't get places, knaves who shew on blushing faces, ruin hastened, peace retarded, candor spurned, and art rewarded. And now on to two sonnets by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Although she's a Victorian poet, not a romantic poet, her work does have romantic elements, so I thought it's appropriate to include her. Sonnet number 1. I thought once how Theocritus had sung. I thought once how Theocritus had sung of the sweet years, the dear and wished for years, who each one in a gracious hand appears to bear a gift for mortals, old or young, and as I mused in his antique tongue, I saw in gradual vision through my tears the sweet, sad years, the melancholy years, those of my own life, who by turns had flung a shadow across me. Straightway I was aware, so weeping, how a mystic shape did move behind me and drew me backward by the hair, and a voice said in mastery while I strove, guess now who holds thee? Death, I said, but there the silver answer rang, not death, but love. And sonnet 34. 43. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and heights my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. For the ends of being an ideal grace, I love thee to the level of everyday's most quiet needs by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with a passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Now our time is complete. Thank you for being here. You are safe, you are calm, and you are enough. Until next time, stay hydrated and rest well.